CTV's Rachel Aiello is standing by with more from Ottawa. And also a growing rebellion with Liberal MPs, some of whom are becoming ever more outspoken about the problems the party faces in the polls, and it's time for Trudeau to go. Let's talk with those cabinet ministers. What do we know?
Yeah, Todd. So we can confirm that there are 4 more cabinet ministers who will not be running for re-election. As you noted, Minister Tassi has issued a statement already indicating that her decision was for personal family reasons, saying she still has support for the Prime Minister, saying it was a bittersweet decision, but she won't be running again. Now, Todd, we are awaiting statements from the other 3 to get more of a sense of their rationale or their decision behind why they are not going to be running for re-election. But as you noted, this is going to open up the need for a cabinet shuffle. The Prime Minister is not going to keep folks who are not running again in his front bench. So there is going to be a bigger shuffle than we've seen recently. This is not an one in, one out. And so this is going to be key for the Prime Minister. As you noted, the polling numbers have not improved at all for the Liberals for quite some time. Cabinet shuffles, other resets, things they've tried to do have not stuck. And so this is going to be a chance for the Prime Minister to try to set what will likely be his pre-election cabinet roster and try to come forward with some bigger vision or sense. And that is what we've heard from Liberal MPs, is they're not sure where things are going. They're not sure where the Liberals are going to pitch themselves to Canadians in the next election. So while it's not good news to lose cabinet ministers, it does kind of open up that chance for him to bring some other people into the fold and use this as an opportunity to frame a new narrative.
You know, some critics are going to say this is like trying to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic, switching around ministers and whatnot. The ship's going down. They have been trying everything to try and re-engage with Canadians. Doesn't seem to be working if you look at the polls anyway. And of course, there are Liberal MPs who are becoming more vocal about this. Talk to me a little bit about, the next couple of weeks, the implications for Justin Trudeau.
Absolutely. So what we can say is that next Wednesday's Liberal caucus meeting on Parliament Hill is definitely going to be a big day for the party. We have heard that there is a group of MPs working behind the scenes on plans to present to the Prime Minister directly their request for him to consider stepping down before the next election for the betterment of the party. Now, the Prime Minister continues to say that he will be the one leading them into the next election. So we'll see whether that call is something that has him at least go back and say, I'm going to think about this more. But certainly this is the most direct push from members of his inner circle, his Liberal caucus, for him to consider the next steps, because as you noted, they have tried a bunch of efforts and nothing really seems to be shaking things. But when you're talking there, Todd, about kind of reshuffling deck chairs, I was looking at the regional breakdown across the country, and the Prime Minister, over successive cabinet shuffles, has made an effort to maintain both regional representation and gender parity. And with Minister Carla Qualtrough announcing she won't be running again, the Prime Minister will not have a single female cabinet minister west of Ontario, and very limited options for others he could bring in. So that is going to be something the Prime Minister is going to have to take away, work with his team to try to figure out how do we kind of keep up these promises of representing the whole country when you don't have as many seats in certain areas, and how to make sure that he is maintaining what seems to be a priority for him is that gender parity.
Yeah, he may have his hands full elsewhere. We'll see how that plays out. Hey, good to see you as always, Rachel, and your analysis always on point. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Rachel Aiello in Ottawa with the latest.